Okay. Let's get this started. Is everything working? That is. Yep. Wrong button. Doop, doop, doo. Why was the second of frames dropped? Just because I was clicking around? I don't see anything wrong. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come. Anywho. Yep. Time to get started. So, last time on this, explored the Necron space, did a few things, fought Necrons, whatnot, and finally reached Epitaph, which is where everything is going down at. Place is hit by the tech blight that we're trying to stop. Lord Inquisitor is here doing who knows what. Necrons are on the rampage. And it's time for us to sort it all out. Last time stream did kind of fall apart while I was in the middle of combat, so it's going to be picking up immediately in combat. But yeah, I am highly certain that this might be the final stream. That this might be the end. Oh, let's see what happens. Also, I know there's a ton of different endings to the game, so I'm kind of curious which one I ultimately will get. Anyways, back to this. We got that dude doing that. Your get whacked pretty hard. I'm probably about to get whacked pretty hard. Argenta's kicking butt, like she always does. Immortals. Abelard is gonna have to eventually make his way back down. Ulfar is locked in combat with that guy. Henrik's turn is done though, so what does this guy do? Like I said, animation is broken if he's in combat. Another combat.
Strike is ruin.
Missed. Alright, let's see if I can take down this death mark.
I'll make it happen.
You already used heroic act. Ulfar is probably out of range. Yep. Henrik's won't get much use from it. I'll just hold on to it until I need to hit Henrik's or Ulfar's already used Steady Superiority. So I'll just hold on to it until I need to hit Henrik's or Abelard with it. Joint analysis and give out the buffs. Post strike. Times 3. It won't be able to completely negate his armor.
I'll see
At the
to
opening.
it personally.
Already got 14 stacks on technical knowledge. Don't need to use that again. Alright.
I'll make it happen.
Let's use this.
On it.
I want to make certain I drop him.
Who if not me? You should have thought twice before crossing me. I'll see to it personally.
Alright, he's probably gonna get back up, but I'll be able to take him back down next turn. Oh god, more.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. This is why I was chosen.
Commencing.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, this is why I was chosen! Doubt is for the weak. Emperor.
Good job. That's a problem.
Sends their regards.
Ow.
A tactically sound approach. I will do my duty. Target well struck.
Missed. Oh, there's a ladder right there. Oops, I'm a dummy.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones.
To actually get Abelard back into the fight. Ow. Nice.
None can do this better than a warrior of the All-Father! I have become the All-Father's weapon!
Dead.
So it shall be.
Dead.
Wolves reign! Cubs play! See how the All-Father's worthy instrument!
Alright.
Insignificant. Let's see to it.
Do you have regeneration? You have warp speed, but not regeneration. Let's give you regeneration since you took a hit.
For the throne's glory.
Are you Shield of the Emperor? Or Word of the Emperor? Yep.
But of course, Lord Captain.
And you got Confident Approach active? Yep.
Holy terror, smite your enemies. Let's see to it.
His resolve bonus. And then I can eventually use Word of the Emperor to buff armor if need be.
I need a foothold. Feel the icy bite of death!
Right?
It's as good as done.
I was able to take a shot at me, but I can't take a shot at him.
I don't need luck. I have strategy. On it. Reanimation protocol. Who if not me? I'll see to it personally. You should have thought twice before crossing me. It's as good as done. On it. I'll see to it personally.
That also reduces his armor. Henrik is out of range. Another round, more Necrons. It's fine. Once Ablar gets down, I can easily handle the horde. So I can just rapid fire into there.
Faith without deeds is worthless. What is a prayer? Eradicate it.
Get wrecked.
This is each strike is a prayer. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. But you might not escape the Emperor's judgment. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. That is not the Emperor's will.
Nice.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. It will be done. Victory is imminent. Grey hair, sure hair. At your beck and call.
Oops.
I will do my duty. Follow my lead. Indeed, one fewer target. It will be done. Victory is imminent.
Darn, just one MP short of being able to reach that guy and bonk him.
My place is at the fore.
You know what, actually? Ablard, Daring breach time. Go nuts.
At your back and target well struck. That's not the Seneschal's job. Reduced to dust.
You will not undo me.
I will do like
Reassemblement commencing.
at your beck and call. Grey hair, sure hand. An exemplary strike.
Oliver can finish that guy off.
Victory is target well struck.
The dynasty will rise again. Awakening. Strength of gods. I will carve runes out of your bones. I have become your father's worthy instrument.
I've suffered worse.
The wolf is on the hunt. So it shall be. My hand is thunder. My strike is ruin. Cubs play. I have become the All-Father's worthy instrument. None can do the dark disgrace.
Colossal Warrior's formidable underframe can no longer bear his weight, with armor plates clanging, his great bulk slumps. A deep sound full of rage and tragic despair is born in his chest. He knows the convolutions in his Xenos limbs, the lights flickering in his eyes, percepts him to went wrong during this monster's awakening from stasis, damaging his engrams and plunging him into madness. What are you? Xenos limbs shimmer at the sound of your voice. He emits a deep hum full of dour pride. You're never able to decipher it, but you can sense his disdainful rage and stern resolve to kill you. It's neither the dispassion of a prowling beast nor the blinding rage of insanity, the instinct of a warrior. Warrior of iron, a sentinel of the tomb of the ancient ones, a child of Yinga, the star devourers, an eternal enemy of the Asurani. Violet grips a weapon in her hands, as if expecting the terrifying warrior to spring to light and attack at any second. An ancient warrior in honorable death, their watch is over. Xenos dies with a piercing howl of wrath. There's no fear in these sounds, the stubbornness of a true warrior with a touch of regret at his defeat. A terrible rumble comes from somewhere deep inside the crypt as soon as the green fire goes out in the fallen warrior's eyes. Below the glyphs upon the walls becomes chaotic and disarrayed. Something just broke irreparably in this crypt.
See how the wolf succeeds. I challenge you, Damget. So shall it be. Ah! Wolves reign. So shall it be. Feel the icy bite of
Oh, your let's
death.
back. Cool.
I am not your scene. I leave you moving no more.
Protocols failing.
I always have a backup plan.
Alright, other than your roulette taking a nasty hit, everything seems pretty fine. Anything with these control panels?
What advice do you seek? Let me help.
You have offered me another chance.
Let's just clear that. I mean, I have plenty of resources. Deactivate the shield. Lord Inquisitor is expecting the rogue trader below. Oh, so I'm expecting. Surviving soldiers bear grave wounds inflicted by God's weapons. The most skilled surgeon would likely be powerless to heal them. The bulky device whose machine spirit is continuously weaving a protective force field. This might be what is holding Xenos at bay, but looking at its unsteady flickering, one cannot help but wonder how long this barrier will last.
Rise to the top, or get
Go
left
deeper
in the
in.
dust.
Okay. Reality bubbles before you in bursts of an agonizing streak. A few silhouettes now stand in your way. Three of them seem to have your face, yet the differences are striking. Each has been marked by other accomplishments and different experiences, making Phil like the protagonist of a tale about a pair of sent twins separated at birth. And Argento's here. Righteous reflection. Emperor, bestow strength upon me to smite yet another obstacle as I carry out your will. Cursed reflection. My master, changer of ways. This of your making? No, I can feel it is not. You are not playing tricks on me, you are sending me prey for a great sacrifice. Oh, Righteous is backed by Argento. Cursed is backed by Adira. Glorious reflection. There's some ironic lesson in what's going on. Should I be looking in the mirror a little less? Or perhaps try to look at myself from the outside? Or is it this hint that I'm my own worst enemy? I'll ponder this in my memoir. Glorious reflection is alone? Look at where your doppelgangers came from. The blatant abuse of the fabric of existence is causing the motes of reality to flare up. You see the mirages of the Chronos expanse in their glow, altered past recognition by the decisions you have made, or could have made, in some other world. Who are you? Glorious reflection. A reply because smiles and understanding. I am Lashfall Valentius the Magnificent. If I know myself, and I certainly do, you are now pondering what that makes you. It's so simple. You are my reflection from a less glorious reality, product of the malign influence of the treasure that I seek. The doppelganger makes a sign of Aquila and utters, I'm a blazing paragon of humanity, unbroken by tribulations, the first to venture into darkness without fear, and the one who unites and brings back that which was forfeited. I'm rogue traitor of the God Emperor. Last Stormclayer smiles coldly. Speaking of me, I am the only version of ourselves who chose the path to true power. I serve the Master, the changer of ways, and already chanced upon my reflection in his dreams, which is why I am the only one without a dumbstruck expression on my face. Welcome to my reality, esteemed guest. To your reality? Funny that. Reality is malleable, like clay. Feed it with the energies of the warp and shape it to match my whims. I am the master of realities, and you are a jumped-up interloper. Seem to think you are better than the rest of us. Oh, glorious one. And yet, I was the only one clever enough to become the master of my own fate, not be reduced to someone else's plaything, or a slave to dogma. And that's why you're alone. You are a parody of what a rogue trader is supposed to be, quite the epitome of hubris, greed, and brazenness. And what being a rogue trader is all about, simply lack the imagination to grasp it. Emperor. What an insufferably smug, arrogant, and childish, insolent creature. And a single traitor embody everything they are loathed for. Just a cursed copy. So one of my versions chose to serve the arch enemy? I do not serve. I reign. You grovel. I dominate and rise even higher. Laura warp test succeed. You notice that your replica is sporting elaborate makeup. Under a layer of power, the doppelganger's face looks strange, his skin covered in wrinkles. Somehow they remind you of closed eyelids? Ugh. Adira opens her... Adira the Insidious. You have any, have some stuff? Nope. Adira opens her mouth, and you see a blackness between her teeth in place of her tongue. 100 otherworldly warped voices speak instead of her voice. Master requests a sacrifice, a living sacrifice. Toss them into the warp. Their past will be unraveled and woven into yours. Why did you come to Epitaph? My master, the changer of ways, directed me here and revealed my destiny. This is where I will cut short the life of the corpse emperor's champion and claim the great trophy. This is where I am fated, and one with the warp. Wonder what point your soul was tainted by heresy. I haven't known the day Kunran Voidver wounded me with the cursed blade. From then on, I started hearing voices. Fortunately, my companion Adira taught me how to avoid going insane, and began to listen to and heed their wisdom. They revealed secrets to me and whispered the dark rituals. Raided the Von Valencia's crypt, made a dark offering of Theodora's skull, and enslaved her spirit. Learned all of her dirty secrets, all of her lies. Saw the full picture and realized that only the strongest survive in the expanse, and any strength is good enough to survive. In short, you've gone from being a rogue trader to being a piece of crap shit. This is very interesting, but shut up! All for Shrift's gaze to you. I've just realized I have not given your spiritual fortitude the credit it deserves. That Batir. Have you achieved much on your profane path? Oh, I have. My empire is no paltry proctorate. It stretches across Winterscale's domain and the worlds of Corda, with my brother Kunrad as regent. Together, we rule many planets. I deceived Erlon the Fool and banished him from the Expanse after subverting his cult. Taught the brazen Drukhari a lesson about sending their cellular navigators and Komarov to cause the most powerful destruction in history. Oh god. On Quizza Timur, I struck down the furious Kaligos. I rivaled the favor of the Dark Gods, and used his blood to make a pact with the Edge Daybreak, my illustrious teacher. Emperor, why do you so rarely send me heretics who are so eager to confess? My job would be so much easier. I see that Ostron has blessed my path, for in this reality I met a human, a powerful and radiant soul, unyielding to corruption. I remember you, little Xenos. I remember you and your kin begging for mercy as I sent you off, one after another, to the feast of the Lord of Pleasure. You are disgusting. You won't believe how little I care about what you think. You responded. Just a bias copy. Your faith seems to be stronger than that of all of us combined. Remember in whose name the sacred warrant was granted. Remember by whose hand I am ordained to exist. I believe. My faith is a bright light driving back the darkness. Your faith is cold embers. When I look at you, I feel ashamed of myself. Did you come here to help Kalxar? The future is not known to me. The Inquisitor did not give me the full details of Operation Precious Sentinel. They mentioned its importance to the entire Imperium. I've come to lend him my aid, or to stop him if his plans go against the will of God Emperor. Wherein still succeed. The doppelganger vigorously chops the air with his hand. You notice some stiffness in the movement. Pulls a subtle grimace of pain. As you look closer, you realize that lurking under your replica's clothes are chains of penance, with jagged hooks digging into his flesh. Such instruments of humility are only worn by the most fervent believers. Where did such piety come from? Told me on the day that Sister Argenta and I executed Theodora for heresy. Saw all her wickedness and depravity, and felt unclean, stained by her blood, so swore to redeem the name of the dynasty. Told me on the day that Sister Argenta and I executed Theodora. Is that actually an option at the start of the game? Lord Inquisitor from your reality must be pleased with you. And how many feats of faith have you accomplished? Not yet enough. Struck down Clegos Windisco, champion of Khorne in the ruins of Dargonis. Joined forces with benevolent Insidia Corda to purge the cult of Final Dawn when they incited a rebellion used Footfall to summon a greater demon named the Edge of Daybreak. The unclean spirit is now sealed within the station that I have proclaimed forsaken forever. Oh, you didn't just kill the Edge of Daybreak? Weak. First shifts an improving glance from your double to you, then mutters quietly into his beard. I'll be. Is your at the tears still? Changing sides will be... no. To the purging of Janus, the Zenus of Krudark, and the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest forged a profane alliance against my proctorate. With the noble Space Wolves, I defeated their combined forces and banished them from the Expanse. That must have been a glorious hunt. Maybe it'll come to pass in our world, too. Wolf turns to Yearlet and adds with a laugh. Did you hear that? That scared you, wretches? Wow. Bold words for someone not wearing a helmet. Looks like this version of me became a mindless zealot. Vice always makes envy as contempt. The situation has just become complicated. How are we going to resolve it? We shall fight. Since your soul's greedy and interest in what is hidden in this crypt, I will not allow you to take possession of this blasphemous thing. But I see we are outnumbered compared to you and Doppelganger. I think it would be wise to join forces, to help you first, and then resolve conflict between those who have survived. I concur. We'll finish off the one with the biggest retinue first, and then decide who's worthy of the prize. I already know who's going to be. Giving you a chance to settle this affair peacefully and avoid self-destruction, in every sense of the word. Great deed is not accomplished by peacemaking, it's accomplished by spilling blood from a righteous hand.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Alright.
Regret standing against me.
So I'm fighting myself, and another version of Argenta, the Scourge. Ooh. And Adira the Insidious. Why do they get so much health? Scam. Guessing you're a psyker. Now, whenever a prey that is not being trailed is killed, oh, you're a bounty hunter. Oh, Adira's a bounty hunter. Training sword. When successfully hit the sword, the target must pass the toughness resistance test with -5 penalty. On failure, the target suffers a bleeding effect, and bell degradation is increased by 1. Fiction heretical. The wielder restores wounds equal to 25% of the damage dealt to the bleeding target. Most warriors. Reckless strike, so warrior. Death Whisper, so warrior and assassin. Demon Path. Once per battle, the rogue trader may choose an ally, including themselves, and grant them a +20 bonus to all characteristics. For 2 rounds. If phase, the target falls prone. All weapons on the battlefield become warped and imbued for 1 round, getting bonus damage equal to the 5 times Veil Degradation and an additional 5 times Veil Degradation armor penetration, which will be used once per combat. Destroy the weak. For the first round of combat, everyone in the rogue trader's party gains +25% chance to regain 1 MP or completely from triggering effect immediately in this. Increase the momentum of the party's party, but instead of decreasing it. Again, using it. This is a highly leveled warrior assassin. What are you? What are your stats? Willpower of 80. Wait. Perception 60. Hilarious. You can't even see what's happening. I mean, I know my willpower isn't that high either, but... Wait, do they all just have the same stats? Oh, he has a higher perception, but... Oh, lowered agility, but higher perception. Huh, okay, so some of them do have different stats. Anyways, what are you? Savor the kill, Panoply of the Assassin. From where his dodge is increased by 10%. Anti-vehicle revolver. The shot explodes, dealing 20 effect and the effect of the target. Dang. Auto striking power sword. Hey, I have that too. Warrior. Okay. And then Arch Militant. So you're the one who didn't choose Path. So I chose Iconoclast. That's chose everything. Chose Heretic and chose Dogmatic. Okay. Not a problem though, he's alone. Alright, we got a improved heavy bolter. Nice. Every kill with this weapon increases the rate of fire by 1. Can I steal that? So we got Soldier, followed by Bounty Hunter. The Valve may choose an ally, including themselves, for 1 round. All targets' attacks ignore enemy's armor. Ooh, that can hurt. This one as well. Until start of the next turn, the Rogue Trader becomes immune to any attacks from demons and Xenos. And all demons and Xenos in 5-star radius, consider them a priority target. Okay, so Eurolet may not be good against him, despite it would be funny to have Eurolet shoot him. Alright, what does Vidira have? This is really good willpower. Figures. Probably a psi rating of 6. Stack of Shock and Awe. Glitter Staff, power level 18, gains lightning ability. Plus 20 willpower. Foreboding, Psychic Shriek, Ignite. Oh. So, Divination. And picked up, Incineration instead of Psionics. Oh, and Psionics. Psychic Streak. Interesting. Psychic Terminus. Operative. Operative Bounty Hunter. Argenta the Scourge. Imperial Pride. Xenos, Psychers, and Servants of Chaos is increased by +4. Warhammer, Revel, and Slaughter. So it went into, Strong Point. Went into Officer? Not Officer, Master Tactician? Interesting. Alright, Ulfar take on Glorious. Argenta, you're let get to cover, you'll take on the Cursed. Abelard, take them on. Argenta, prove yourself superior, kick their butts. Henrix, move up. I'll go here. I just noticed your arm. What did you slap Henrix with? Holy crap. Incinerate. Double the damage of the ignite in half. Ow. So Henrik just gets wrecked. Anyways, I just noticed Adira is actually mutated. Assuming you have the highest armor of them all. Actually, no, he actually is. Curse reflection is pretty close. That's a pretty high dodge. Let's knock you down a peg.
Accept your lot. The best defense is a good offense. Who, if not me? I'll make it happen. It's as good as done. I'll see to it personally. On it. I'll see to it personally.
My prescience has failed me.
Yes. Suffer.
It's as good as done. Consider this a taste of what's to come.
I am his will made manifest. Fly with the totem.
Unpleasant.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. If it serves your cause.
If I must. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. This tedium is beneath me. If it serves your cause.
Some more armor and damage out there.
I understand your intent. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. If I must.
Fortune favors the swift.
That was weird. Something on my end just acted weird. So, who to shoot? Who to shoot? Hit
This
Argenta again.
tedium is beneath me. Ancestors guide me.
I can help you.
You clearly are outmatched. Contemplate your
I'm
weakness.
enraged.
Didn't see that one coming, did you?
Pain cleanses the body.
That hurts quite a bit, actually.
It's nothing.
It's a lot of work to miss.
It will be done. At your beck and call. I will do my duty. Victory is imminent. Indeed.
Wait, what? Jeez, how do you... Should have paid attention to that. Crap. Why is your chance to hit and stuff so high?
At your beck and call.
Succeed, succeeding. Dang.
Poised for action.
Darkness, mere pain won't stop me.
One step ahead.
An unworthy soul.
I hunger for battle.
Hello there.
Faith shields me.
Corpse play! Is thunder! My strike is ruin! I will carve runes out of
Sorry,
your
Argenta.
bones by the wolf's eye. Perish!
Fall back now.
I say bite of death! Wolves reign!
Don't exactly know how you dodged that, considering I had a 100% chance to hit.
Wolves reek of cowardice.
Oh, it triggered auto dodge.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Argenta, you get to do the thing you've
I'll
always
do
wanted
it.
to do. Shoot Adira.
Faith without deeds is... Cause you, my emperor!
I've never felt pain like this.
I'll do it. As the emperor commands, I act. It's why I was
This is my
chosen.
blood.
I will not. Doubt is for the weak. Each strike is a prayer.
Who, if not me? I'll see to it personally. I'll make it happen. It's as good as done. Who, if not me? I'll make it happen. On it.
Darn.
I'll make it happen. You should have thought twice before crossing me.
I am not your Xenos pet monkey. I understand your intent. I am not your Xenos pet monkey. No weakness is hidden from my sight. This tedium is beneath me. Ancestors guide me.
Unpleasant.
If it serves your cause.
No foe too great.
I'm not interested. I'm enraged.
A tactically sound approach. I will do my duty. Victory is imminent.
Lord's reflection failed. I was mostly one of the cursed reflection, though. He is the one who seems to be just avoiding everything I'm doing. Oh, that's because his dodge is a lot higher than 95.
At your beck and call. It will be done. At your beck and... Ha-ha! An exemplary strike! Brace yourself, Avalon!
0 damage.
I could use some help.
The fame-hungry come. See how the wolf succeeds? None can do this better than a warrior of the All-Father.
Unpleasant. I defy you.
My hand is thunder. My strike is ruin.
Can't be happening.
Who even taught you to fight like this?
Oops.
You could do worse, but not by much.
See how wolf succeeds. Feel the icy bite of death. No!
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless. As the Emperor commands, I act.
You lucky little jerk.
Doubt is for the weak.
It's as good as done. I refuse.
Oh, I'm actually out of those.
I'll see to it personally. I'll make it happen. On it.
Darn.
It's as good as done. The best defense is a good offense.
It's still standing.
If I must. I understand your intent. This tedium is beneath me. If it serves your cause. If I must. No weakness is hidden from my sight. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
Will endure.
You are clearly outmatched.
Time to redouble our efforts.
Crap.
It will be done. Indeed. I will do my duty. It will be done. Victory is imminent. It will be done. At your beck and call. I will do my duty. At your beck and call.
I challenge you, Damget. Wolves reign! Cubs play. So it shall I have become the All-Father's worthy instrument! Don't dishonor the wolf with such tasks. Wolf, I will carve runes out of your bones.
Get wrecked, fools. Cursed reflection. Alright. Eruption. Who the crap had that? All targets hit by this weapon's area attack deal 25 energy damage to everyone in a 2-cell radius. Dang. Penalty of the Assassin. Surround the wearer's dodge is increased by 10% until the end of combat. This effect resets after an attack made on the wearer. Oh. Plus 15% dodge against range attack. That would explain why it was such a pain in the butt to attack the dude. Demon World Origin. Oh, no, that was So that still is annoying to hit him. 20% armor against demons, plus 10% armor penetration.
Is there money to be made?
We are the spearhead of the Imperium. Let's patch you up.
You have my thanks.
This wound will make a fine scar.
I won't forget this.
Let's patch you up.
Ministration is a holy task.
Now what about the pile of you guys? High-Vold Voidsman armor. Oh, someone's just wearing armor I've already seen. Weak. Imperial Pride. Proved Heavy Bolter. I have to look at that for Argenta. Staff of Shock and Awe. Malleus Body Glove. Armory Bold Origin. Summon property plus 15 dodge against Xenos enemies. Plus 10% hit chance. Interesting. The 1 star. I have another one of the 1 star. There are now 2 stars.
Keep your wits about you. That's how it's done.
Skull of Forbidding Science plays on the Viscreen. Someone has placed a seal of silence in the cogitator. Exodus Long Lads. Grants plus 25% hit chance. The wielder has at least Iconoclast Zealot. Damage is increased by 30% of current momentum. Oh dang. That's pretty good. Relic Silencer. The wearer does not lose the elusive effect if they attack from cover. And a melta charge. Nos. And Argenta have a new heavy bolter. Is it as good or as what you currently have? Proved Heavy Bolter. Does more damage, has a low rate of fire, same range, kind of whatever for ammo. Each killed weapon increases rate of fire by 1. Honestly, it's a better weapon. It doesn't have the funny knockback effect. It's also a bolter, so it benefits from any of her stuff that is bolter.
Always keep your eye on
Also, I just now
price.
noticed how low Henrik's health actually is. Rosary of Defense. Swear gains a 0% chance of ignoring incoming damage. Number of unyielding beacon stacks. Oh dang. Alright, so don't go that way.
Let us not dawdle.
Examine.
Success is the
One
only
name just stands out
outcome
among the
I
rest. It's likely
accept.
used to be the symbol of an ancient Xenos dynasty. Connect to the memory core.
I always get the job done.
Eliminate.
I always have a backup plan.
Incandescent storm. Plasma weapon. Every action with this plasma gun has a separate cooldown. All this plasma gun's attack actions can be used in a single turn. Oh. That's pretty powerful. Crucidium Litany. Each of the wear a single attack scheme plus 10% damage to each negative effect on the target. Oops. Yoink.
Is there money to be made? That's how it's
As soon as
done.
you touch the obelisk, ancient Xenos symbols appear in your mind, forming the words. Open the pocket repository? Sure. Singer of Fearsome Sagas. Attacks with Zax deal additional damage equal to 5% of the target's maximum wounds. Bonuses apply to each enemy only once per round. And whereas ally uses following, the ally deals 30% more damage with the next attack of each ally within 2 cell radius around the wearer. The wearer uses psychic power, they can trigger one of the following. 5% chance to reduce the AP cost and decrease Veil degradation by -2. 5% chance to perform the psychic power as usual. 5% chance to increase Veil degradation by +3 and reset the cooldown of their attack. But an increase to 15 and beyond. This effect triggers Perils of the Warp even when using -6 powers. Hello. Hey, it's going pretty good.
I always keep my options open.
Getting close to finishing the game. Actually, enemies torment the Xenos dead body, destroying and reconstructing it over and over. Ugh. Connect to the memory core.
Success is the only outcome I accept.
Run! Side!
Lord Inquisitor, we are progressing according to the plan. Our troops have already reached the target. Oh, and thank you for the follow. I don't think I said that. So, thank you.
Run! Side!
Nothing really of note.
Run!
Streams have been going good.
Rise to the
Oh.
top, or get left in the dust.
What's over here? Turret. Am I just gonna get shot by the turret if I walk down here?
The Emperor favors me today.
Okay. Oh, I guess I could have shot that thing too. And do it this side.
Keep your wits about you. Miscalculations are for commoners. I don't make mistakes. I make profitable learning experiences.
I better myself through my service.
Do it.
I always have a backup plan.
We'll construct a web with the tech blight spreading along the walls of the crypt. Alright. think this is it. Time for the final confrontation. Thank you. Let's see how this ends. Your lordship, please forgive me. I have to get back to work. Forgive me. To work. Inquisitor is waiting.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Inquisitor is waiting. Warhammer emanates from the massive machine that combines the might of the Imperium with the taint of Xenos tech. Like sneak around and continue searching and looting. There's a lot going on here. Tech Priest responds with a short string of binary
Let us
code.
not dawdle.
That's cool. Oh wait, bot. Shoot. Let's get rid of that bot real quick.
Is there
That's
money
cool.
to be made?
Okay, Lord Inquisitor is expecting you. David Calzar. See that you did not hear my warnings, Lash. The decision to come here in spite of them may have consequences. You still have a chance to turn it to everyone's advantage. Lordship listens to me very carefully. With all due respect to you, Lord Inquisitor, I shall ask you to refrain from any further threats directed towards the blessed rogue trader, lest you face repercussions from me. How courteous of you to warn me, Master Versarian. I will remember your words. Sir Von Calix, I am pleased to see you. How was your journey? Illuminating, Lord Inquisitor. This tone would have frozen anyone else solid, but not Calixar. The line you are treading is a dangerous one, Calixar. Stop this madness. You're the one who's attempting something mad and dangerous by acting with insolence towards me. The Emperor Lash, I am in no mood to squabble with Rogue Trader, not even with your recently installed lordship. Is that what you are here for? What is it? Call it a shard, and yes, as you have noted quite aptly, it is the reason I am here. This construct contains an ancient, or rather, a pre-ancient being of cosmic power. It was called the Catan. He is currently trying to escape, and I'm here to collar it. Make the VTuber myself? Not this one. This one, I have this one and an Avali, both of which were free models. The Avali was from, well, the Diwali, though that's had a lot happen with it. So I don't exactly know where to get one now, if they even are still out for availability. This one is literally just a cat something. It didn't have a name, it was literally just called Unnamed Cat by the creator. There are two others that I made. I recently changed my computer and that kind of messed them both up, and I haven't actually got around to fixing them. But there are two models that I made that I set up for VTubing. I need to get them working again. Yeah, it does look cool. Calculator knows a giant device whose design clearly points to it having been brought into the crypt from outside. So we're dealing with Catan here. It's basically the gods of the Necrons. And are known for being able to literally just bend reality to their will. They can't do much to the warp, but to everything in the Materium they have pretty much complete control over. No one in this world is capable of taming the power of the true Yengear, the Star Devourers. I think even a small and imprisoned part of one of them is going to yield to you. You are mad and short-sighted. What is this Catan shard, and what is it doing here? Specimen, an ancient predator race, a devourer of pulsars and feasted on star systems. Reality itself bent to their power, but many millennia ago, an ancient Xenos race managed to defeat them, shatter them to pieces, and lock them away in prisons, the one you see before you. The Yengear are no mere predators, Monka. They are just another sentient race. The ancient tales speak of a great war between the Yengear and the Old Ones. In that war, the Yengear found allies to whom they promised unbounded gifts. You have seen them now, Tom. Their species call them Necrons. The Yengear granted them everything they needed to fight their enemies, but their largesse came at a price, tricked into a state that was neither life nor death. The Metal Warriors served the Star Devourers for eons, until they finally rebelled and confined their masters to prisons, such as this one. Do you wish to be tricked by their power too? Your unsanctioned Xenos has a point, Rogue Trader, which isn't the same as saying she is right. The Imperium will harness this creature's power and turn it against our enemies. And you think you stand a chance against such power? You mean to say that a human is not capable of such a feat? I'm not just a human. I'm an instrument of the Emperor's will, one of many. And the Emperor is omnipotent. If I were to fail, another would follow my footsteps. That's how humanity makes the impossible possible, in the hands of particular people in particular circumstances. Your skepticism is unwarranted. How will taming this creature help save the Imperium? In my years of service, I've come to realize that the main problem humanity faces in this war is the imbalance in power. Opponents are not races or nations, but incomprehensible monsters. And it's high time we acquired one of our own. My yoke will bind this creature and make it a chained guard serving the Emperor. I do have a Discord. But, yeah. To the full extent of my vision, there are still shards similar to this one, scattered across the galaxy. If I seek them out and combine them all inside the yoke, each conquered monstrosity will bolster our defenses. So this dude plans to rebuild the Catan, and he thinks that's a good idea. Not seeing the Necrons around him, where that was not a good idea. Dang, dude. Given the circumstances of the meeting, I do not see why I should hide anything. I seriously doubt you will share this information with anyone else, for one reason or another. How did the thing end up in your possession? It's your predecessor. I arrived in the expanse at the call of the Explorator fleet to deal with Archmagos Armaments heresy. I quickly came to the realization that Kronos Expanse's problems ran much deeper than tech heresy. Unprecedented piracy running wild, blatant smuggling of Xenos artifacts, willful and impetuous rogue traders, and growing threat to the ruinous powers, all this in our region that the Drukhari consider their domain. Frankly, I considered purging the entire expanse. It would have been much easier to burn down this whole tangle of threats and corruption. But the spies that I've woven presented me with much more interesting and radical solutions. By investigating Armanet's connections, I turned my eye to Theodora von Valencius, who ultimately gave me the shard. How was Theodora involved in all this? Theodora's instincts were uncanny. She spent decades hunting for a key that could open the dimensional gate, though she knew that there was something incredible waiting for her on the other side. The ship was lucky enough to discover the shard during one of her expeditions, a trophy that was too much for her to handle. Archmagos Armament studied it for on Theodora's behalf, creating weapons in exchange for access to the dangerous relic. But the research was too primitive and unambitious compared to the true power contained inside the shard. And I have one of my own accolades. Not yet. Your request? If it's a friend request, I don't accept. I don't accept friend requests unless that aren't... What's the right word? I can't think of the word right now. But basically, I don't accept random friend requests. Sorry. Sent her spies to Theodora, they infiltrate the Rookers' retinue, earning their trust, and report to me about this magnificent object. The rest was trivial. Seized Epitaph and laid down the conditions of our further coexistence. She was wise enough to concede defeat with dignity. Commenced Operation Precious Sentinel. I left a garrison on Epitaph, took the key to the dimensional gate from Theodora, sealed the gate, and started the creation of the yoke. Kept Theodora and her heirs in my sight, just in case. Not long before death, I assigned Henrix to her and ordered her to rendezvous with him on Rykab Minoris. Her lordship inherited him instead, but I wasn't aware of you. Theodora managed to keep her secret and air up her sleeve. Thank you for understanding. Henrix's lips curls. It's unfortunate that I was not privy to all the details of this plan. But instead of eradicating Theodora's misdeeds, he chose to inherit them. Argento's voice rings with righteous steel. Gritting his teeth, Ablar says quietly, in the old days, house... Yeah, I keep my DMs open in case people need to contact me for any reason. In the old days, House von Lincius would have declared war over something like this. Fought until your finger was dead. What is the yoke? A containment device, similar to this one, except better. The yoke was divined by the brightest minds of two races, using the ancient wisdom of a long-gone Xenos civilization. A prison capable not only of holding the Catan chart, also of controlling it while releasing fractions of its being. An instrument of obedience and destruction, a masterpiece whose creation required immense effort. It's made on Euphrates too. Captured Armanat's student, Azil Malthus. She passed all of her mentor's drafts to me. The one overseeing the process was none other than your acquaintance, the tech priest Cubus Delphine. His fall was regrettable. It seems that the unorthodox and daring things he did at my behest drove him to break his vows and sink into heresy. The human mind could never have comprehended the shard, alone. Thus I appealed to the inhuman mind. Struck a deal with the Drukhari. You collaborated with the Drukhari. Honestly, can we just get to the answer of, like, why were they stealing stars? Last, the operation demanded it. With the agents of one of my acolytes, Emelina, I contacted Archon Yamiris and made a pact. Gave her access to the technologies contained within this relic and destroyed her rivals in the Cabal. She would relay information on their raids to my spies and I would solve the problems. In exchange, her homunculus, Travantis, forged the yoke for me. Oh god, thank god Travantis is dead. And all the other Travantises. Of course, I did not let him near the shard itself, but rather set up a laboratory for him and Inquisitor Timil. It was safer that way. All the pieces were contributed to my plan, but I had enough information to comprehend the entirety of it. Henrix cringes at Calgazar's words. You dispose of Emelina like unwanted rubbish, like waste material, for all her years of faithful service to the Golden Throne. Unfortunately, I had to send Emelina away and remove her from the board. A shrewd woman of principle. I used to acknowledge those qualities of her, but suddenly it started to get in the way of my plan. It would have been safer to eliminate her before she could figure out what was going on, but must have grown miserably over the years and was loath to part with a good agent. Perhaps I was simply being sentimental. Why did Drukhari want the shard? It was one of the most complicated and perfect creations of race much older than Drukhari. It's no mere object, but a treasure trove of technology. A wise master could uncover many secrets simply by observing it. I don't like either of these answers. I guess I'll say a sound strategy because of Eurolet. Trust me, Lordship. The threat of the aliens pales in comparison to that posed by the ruinous powers. Ramirez could plunder 1,000 worlds. She is no Eurolon the Cruel. She was as great a danger to her own kin as she was to the Imperium. The disruption she caused among the Drukhari was only to her benefit. She intends to trigger a powerful disjunction in Kamara, thereby destroying her rivals and eliminating her own cabal in the process. Knowing full well how precarious her grand plan was, I made no attempt to talk her out of it. With a little luck, we wouldn't have a need to worry about Conrad's influence. It was a dark day when you dropped from under the tail of your rotten, ruined mother, loathsome traitor. While we were fighting to exterminate Xenos, you were busy carousing with them. I No sooner I would have ripped your pitch black heart right out of your chest. I readily believe that. Since we are being so candid, I must note that you proved to be a much less convenient tool than I anticipated. I take it you decided to get rid of your Xenos allies? There's no more need for them, seeing as the yoke was almost complete and the situation is escalating out of control. Theodora is dead, while the Found Dawn had reared its head and was prepping to strike. Ramirez had forgotten her place. She was putting forward too many elimination requests. When I told her to curb her appetite, she retaliated. Theft of the Reichad star was timed to occur with Master von Calix would be on the planet. Archon wanted to rob me of one of my agents and send a message. What? Reichad's son vanished because of me? Still fail to see the connection between disappearing star and the Find Dawn. How could Xenos catalyze the fulfillment of the archenemy's prophecy? Then the Kronos Expanse was engulfed in flame. I had to rush the operation and declare sector-wide martial law. While a gate that Ramirez's orders had been using was destroyed, the facility on the Inquisitor Timur raised. I evacuated the half of the yoke that Cervantes had to complete, but it was too late to retrieve the second half from your Fathers too. Keep this Delphine rebuilt to your own world where he should strike. That almost spelt the end of Operation Precious Sentinel. Appreciate your efforts in resolving this problem. In fact, you turned out to be much more useful than Theodore ever was. Why did you call the Astartes to come to your aid? You need a remarkably strong force to keep my Xenos allies in check. Emperor's Angels were just the weapon I was looking for, except considering the sensitive nature of my operation, I couldn't very well risk requesting aid from my allies in the Death Watch, could I? Then I remembered an old debt owed to me by Space Wolf's great company, as I'd call in a favor. They were an asset at first. The wolves helped me close the dimensional gate by overwhelming its security systems. Testing with hunting the Xenos condemned by Ramirez. Eventually started prying. That was unacceptable. I could control Thorvald by giving him more tempting targets. They also had a pack. The raided outpost from my agents had been meeting with the Drukhari. The pack took prisoners, but lost the esteemed brother Ulfar. Hoped they would give their all to one search, but instead the wolves forced the system coordinates out of the captives and came crashing down my head. I had no gate to transport them. They used nothing but their warp engines. Thankfully, they realized their situation too late, so Tanaka managed to neutralize them. He stares coldly at him. The deadly frost of Fenrir is cracking in his voice as he speaks. You will pay for this, your Polixar. Know that I'll have my blood vengeance. I'll have your death. I see. You have come so far in pursuit of answers. It would be too cruel to leave curiosity unsatisfied. Seeing as the inhabitants of this place almost killed you, I gather that something went wrong with this plan of yours. Not at all. Operation Precious Sentinel is in its final stages. Increasing Xenom's activity is a vexing yet trivial development in the grand scheme of things. They were supposed to guard the device, but they slept through the intrusion. Only Catan Shard's emanations could make them stir. Theodora's research destabilized Shard's prison, and my project only made it worse. Whenever particles of Catan Shard's energy seep out, many curious phenomena occur. Destruction of the crypt, the warped reality, maintaining the monster out of order to stop disrupting the laws of the universe. That brings us to the most interesting part of the conversation. You know my plan, so now I want to know yours. Would you admit that I am in the right and join me in this undeniably ambitious act, or will you try to stop me? I'll be upfront with you. If it's the latter, I'll be forced to remove you. I'm sure you realize that already. The second time, you have threatened the Lord Captain. Listen to yourself. What you are planning is heresy. Now, Flash, it will only be heresy if I lose. If I prevail, it will be a triumphant feat in the name of saving humanity, the horrors of this universe. And I will not lose. Nah, sounds like heresy. You're gonna lose. I'll not let you bring this insane plan to fruition. Hendrix, eliminate the rogue trader. Kyle's gazes at the unmoving interrogator. Say nothing. As I raise thoughts, Hendrix nods and responds gravely. I no longer recognize your authority, Lord Inquisitor. My apologies. In that case, Hendrix von Calix, in the name of the Emperor, I hereby revoke your inquisitorial privileges and declare you excommunicata traitors. Punishment for your heresy is death. I bid you farewell. Inquisitor nods calmly. There is not a shred of hatred or disappointment on his face. Farewell, then. I'm glad to have made your acquaintance, despite everything. Thanks to his retinue. Eliminate the rogue trader.
I'll make an example out of you.
Stand your ground.
Inquisition presence. Charge, paying attack, death whisper, forceful strike, size suppressor, anti-psychic module eclipse. I'm not using any of that. Speed, endurance, sense of comrade. Vanguard has at least one ally and 2 sword. Vanguard gets plus 12% parry, invigorating hatred. Resistant Mystic, Technosis, Technosis. These Technosists really are just there to try, aren't they? Position Mystic. Or warning for burning, so bunch of divinations, like Terminus. Position Veteran. Arch Militant, okay. Stern Enforcer. Oh, you're a Psyker. Biomancy. Only Extremis, not Terminus. Okay. What's your weapon? Roaring Thunder. Thunder Hammer deals plus 3 damage and gains plus 2 second chance to stun an enemy for 1 turn for each point of the enemy's deflection. Oh. A successful toughness resistance test negates this effect. Okay. Henrix, deal with the Mystic. Argenta, deal with the Veteran. Yurlet, back off a bit. How about your Ulfar? You're in great positions. Keep it up.
Stay vigilant. My hand is thunder! My
I'll brush this off.
ruin!
I've faced worse than this. Just a temporary setback. I'll see to it personally. Who if not me? I'll see to it personally. It's as good as done. Here's my perfect moment. I'll see to it personally. On it. I'll see to it personally.
Power resides in the will of the righteous. I'll do it.
Oh, I killed some random idiot over here too. Cool. So our rate of fire is 8. Very nice.
Who, if not me?
As the Emperor
The controlled
commands,
shot.
I act. Faith
Reckless
without
rush.
deeds is worthless. I'll do it. This is what I want. Doubt is for the weak.
I'm ready to fire up den.
Guided by faith. As the Emperor commands, each strike is a prayer. I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. Doubt is for the weak.
Ready to fire up 12.
Hold on. Let's make it quick.
This tedium is beneath me. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey.
I didn't see this guy right here who would have been actually a better target, but oops.
If I must. Another soul slips beyond the veil. Pay with your blood in the name of Kaela Menshake! If it serves your cause. I understand your intent. If it serves your cause, no weakness is hidden from my sight.
Naturally. Let's see to it. But of course, Lord Captain. I'll put my psychic abilities to use. Let's see to it. For the throne's glory.
Let's get to it.
Nothing stands against me.
Here we go.
You guys really don't care about the veil right now, do you?
I hunt for battle. None can do this better than a warrior of the All-Father. Feel the icy bite of death! Become the All-Father's worthy instrument! Corpse play!
Indeed. It will be done.
What's Kalgzar's willpower? Oh, dang. Pretty darn high.
At your beck and call. I'm not interested. Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. Victory is imminent. At your beck and call. I will do my duty. It will be done. Indeed.
Drop the buffs.
At your beck and call.
Consider this a taste of what's to come.
What did this trigger? Oh.
My strike is ruined! I have become the All-Father's worthy instrument!
Well, that was hilarious.
Victory is imminent. One fewer down. We'll rule the stars themselves. Follow my lead. It will be done. Indeed. Target well struck. It will be done. I will do my duty. Gray hair, sure hand. It will be done. Reduced to dust. I've seen worse battles than this in my time.
I didn't flinch. I'll see to it personally. On it. Your end was inevitable. It's as good as done. Who, if not me?
Rejoice in battle! As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Strike is a prayer.
No, it is too early. The yoke must be activated, or all is lost.
Nomos! Invisible, yet clearly tangible aura of power envelops the figure clad in the robes of a tech priest. It is all the more baffling to hear a youthful, excited voice from under the hood. This is it, the place of our origin. Moses' gaze is trained upon the Catan shard. It is your strike and your wish to escape your prison that begot you. Got us. The mysterious creature that has been your ship's soul for so long turns to face you. It is you, Lash, who truly ushered us into this world. So let us meet our abominable precursor together, for it is ready to break free. Greetings, Nomos. We're out of time. Now it escapes. So we're fighting a Catan! Well, Catan shard.
I will wipe your disgusting presence out of existence!
The mortals matters not.
Nomos! Breath of Fatality. Grants the Nomos boon to affect allies. Catan 15,500 HP. 50 deflection. 250 armor, 95% dodge. Plummeting stars. Times arrow. Disperse. The Catan shard teleports the enemies to random positions across the battlefield. Flow version. Cone-shaped area attack directed at the enemy who last dealt damage to the Catan shard. Catan shard creates various copies of itself. Catan shard swaps position with one of its copies. Creature is immune to the following effects: can attack, fatigue, disturb, toxin, perplex, horrors of the war. Mental damage dealt to this creature is reduced by 50%, and machine damage is increased by 30%. Master Quantum Cognition. As long as any shard copy or the NG orb remain, each time it is attacked, the Catan shard will gain a stack of reconceptualization and trigger a reflective retribution on the attacker. We are in for what some would call a fun time. And others would call, death. Also seems like it just goes after every single person's turn.
This tedium is beneath me. If it serves your cause.
Do this for plus 6% armor. Don't know if that will ultimately matter to anything, but hey.
If I must.
Do that to reduce the damage it
I
deals.
understand
Do
your
that to
intent.
reduce that. That for extra damage.
This tedium is beneath me. Ancestors guide me.
Dealt 6 damage. Yay! Doomed by the Void effect. Creatures destined to die in the next round unless someone takes their place. Katanjar uses the ability of Void Doom. Yoke Amplifier. The work of combined technological genius of human Xenos. Creation capable of shaping the ancient entity. So, Xavier Calixart is dead. Is he like literally just frozen in place dead? Bleeding, pierce armor, slow, catch, flay the bold.
No weakness is hidden from my sight.
Everyone got dispersed. Got the fatality on Ulfar. Oh. Got a shard here. Another one. And another one. Where's Ulfar? Grants the Nemesis boons effects to allies. Oh, okay.
Accept your lot. You should have thought twice before crossing me.
Specialization. You should stack reduces all incoming damage up to the Catan Shard by -2. All stacks are moved after the Catan Shard's turn.
I'll see to it personally. I'll make it happen.
Do that to get a bonus to armor out there.
It's as good as done.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave.
Damage is storm.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
On it. Consider this a taste of what's to come. Best defense is a good offense.
Thing goes Hendrix dodged. Oh, it was guaranteed dodge. How nice.
I'll make it happen. I'll see to it personally. It's as good as done. Who, if not me?
Love how you shot yourself multiple times. Good job.
Wolves reign! The wolf is on the hunt. Gone. So shall it be. None can do better than a warrior of the All-Father! My strike is ruin! So it shall be. Disgrace!
One of his copies are dead.
Fenris Shoulder! See how the... Feel the icy bite of death! Is that all you've got?
Collective Retribution deals 2 direct damage.
I won't object to it. But of course, Lord Captain. Naturally. Let's see to it. For the throne's glory. Get me a target.
Okay, decided to do nothing. Very nice. I like it when things decide to do nothing.
At your beck and call. Victory is imminent. My place is at the fore.
I'll do it. Doubt is for the...
Purpose are unworthy.
I'll do it. Faith without deeds is...
Reality is a tapestry of contradictions.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act.
That's right, Purging Fury. It does, the Xenocycler's targets 10% of the maximum wounds. Oh, the first attack with this flaming combat. Burning effect applied with deals an additional 2% targets on this Xenocycler. Okay, so that should melt it pretty fast. Now for Argent to get nuked by like some sort of reciprocative damage or something. Selective retribution. Each stack deals +2 direct damage to the target at the end of the target's turn. All stacks remove direct damage inflicted. Oh, okay. So just don't have her unload into the guy.
Swift and silent. If it serves your cause. If I must. If it serves your cause. I am not your Xenos pet monkey. This tedium is beneath me. Fortune favors the swift. I am not your Xenos pet monkey.
My hand is thunder! My strike is ruin!
I love how quickly I got its deflection from 50 all the way down to 11. And its armor from 250 to 0.
I'll see to it personally.
Impressive.
On it. I'll see to it personally. It's as good as done. Consider this a taste of what's to come. I'll make it happen. You should have thought twice before crossing me.
Just more useless than my existence. Wolves reign. None can do this better than a warrior of the All-Father. Wolves reign. So shall I say bite of death! Opponents cannot damage. Comes plague. See, I have become the All-Father's worthy instrument!
Interesting.
High momentum. Everyone, step aside. Let's see to it. Naturally. Let's see to it. I won't object to it. For the throne's glory. Holy terror, smite your enemies. I won't object to it. The Inquisition sends their regards. I feel the power surging. Naturally. Holy terror.
The hindrance to my
smote
release.
your
I see.
enemies.
You will be erased. Disintegration dawn. Physical distortion. All the Psycho's attacks, including attacks, Psycho powers, now poison enemies. Oh. Uses and gains 13 temporary wounds. Disintegrating Dawns. Catan creates an energy orb in the center of the battlefield. Next turn, the orb explodes to destroy all enemies. Oh. So if this thing gets a turn, we all die. Shark creates various copies of itself.
But of course,
The Inquisition sends their regards. Let's see to it. Focus, Van Calvus. Focus.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ways. Target well struck. I'd rather not. I will do mighty grey hair. Sure hand. Indeed. A tactically sound approach. At your beck and call.
Supermassive prominence. Cone-shaped area attack.
Doubt is for the weak. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands,
Ow.
Opponents cannot damage a star.
What does structuring do? Matter absorption. Grants a Catan shard extra temporary wounds. Catan shard gains equal to 50% of its current wounds per each absorbed matter stack. Oh crap.
I understand your intent. If it serves your cause, this tedium is beneath me. If I must. If it serves your cause, no weakness is hidden from my sight.
Integrity.
I am not your Xenos pet. Ancestors guide me. If it serves your cause.
Create another energy orb. Okay.
On it. Another enemy down. I'll make it happen. Consider this a taste of what's to come.
Wolves reign! A born predator does not become prey! None can do this better than a warrior of the All-Father! Ruins out of your bones! Is a tapestry of contradictions. Cubs play. Wolves. See how. Feel the icy bite of death. Thunder. My strike is ruin. Cannot damage his I don't like
And those damage, their critical damage increase by plus 1%. I was up fired up maxed. How close is Argenta to fired up being maxed? Oh, 38? Dang. Though I did just rapid fire through 3 enemies. So.
I won't object to it. Let's see to it. Holy terror, smite your enemies! For the throne's glory. I need a foothold. Naturally. Nothing stands against me. Holy terror, smite your enemies. Let's see to it.
You really want to pull off an energy orb, don't you?
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. It will be done. I will do my duty. Victory is imminent. At your beck and call.
I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. Strike is a prayer. I'll do it. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
Wait, Shadowfield is still active? Yeah, nay. So I guess temporary wounds are not affected. Oh, takes an attack and suffers damage. This stuff doesn't have an effect. It's not actually hitting her. It's not an attack against her.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
A fleeting moment of integrity gone.
I am not your
This would be a much more
Xenos
intense
monkey.
attack, fight. If it wasn't for the fact that I'm just so stacked right now.
If it serves your cause. Stop trying, monkey. I understand your intent. I am not your Xenos pet. No weakness is
Be
hidden
found
from
once
my
more.
sight.
Plus skill arm protection damage dealt. Sends the enemy to annihilation. I can defeat him in time.
It's as good as done. Who if not me? I'll see to it personally. I'll make it happen. The best defense is a good offense.
Summoning more copies. So this is getting a little out of hand.
Fruits of Purgatory's reign. Fight of death. I have become the All-Father's worthy instrument. Corpse play. So it shall be. Thunder! My strike is ruin! When Fenris is in battle, oceans bleed.
I won't object to it. Nothing stands against me. Let's see to it. The Inquisition sends their regards. But of course, Lord, holy terror, smite your enemies. For the throne's glory.
Hold on. Stay with us.
Up. Here, let's down.
Indeed. Follow my lead. It will be done. Victory is imminent. I will do my duty.
A fleeting moment of integrity gone.
I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, Doubt is for the strike is a prayer. As the Emperor commands, Emperor faith without deeds is worthless. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. As the Emperor commands. Doubt is for the weak. God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
It's as good as done.
You know what? Actually, let's finish this. Screw the energy orb. More importantly, screw the Catan shard. Eat
Who if
crap.
Not me.
Oh, the yoke successfully activated. The ancient monster struggles against the energy manacles of the yoke. Its impossible power that makes reality itself burst at seams are now being forced into a compact dungeon, quirk by quirk, returning it to a cruel and painful non-existence in the moment. It could struggle harder. Something is hindering it. You are the cause of these hindrances. Only now does the Catan shard turn its focus to you. The battle is nothing more than the reflexive resistance of an alien mind absorbed in a completely different range of thoughts and responses. But now, it is thinking about you, and its thoughts are so corporeal that you can sense them and know them. It seeks an end to the confrontation. It's capable of resolving it in a way that would benefit all. More and more terrors appear all over the shard's form. As the yoke absorbs its power, it becomes increasingly harder for the shard to maintain its physical structure. Each imperfection you inflict brings the Star Predator closer to imprisonment. Do not bow your head before an abominable precursor. It was begotten by the dark abysses of the past. It is a fragment of that which devoured stars and erased civilization. It knows no benefit other than its own. Allow us to stand against it. This is our time, our impossible chance. As yet another layer of reality cracks, a figure appears before you. Her. After giving you a probing and appraising look, Theodora permits herself a slight smile. Nomos? Our birth ever had a purpose, and it is here and now. Why do you call the shard a precursor? Because that is what it is, what we are. We have told you before about Theodora's ambitions. Armanet's mind, a ship's cradle, an epitaph's secret. One sprouted into another and spurred yet another. Thus, Nomos were born. We were but an echo of the shard's power, an echo that left its prison. We have become something so much more. With your help. What do you intend to do? Clash with the precursor. Touch it. Absorb it, so that reflection becomes the object reflected. So that shard becomes Nomos. Then, and only then, will its threat be eradicated forever. Do you think you can do this, Nomos? And what will happen afterwards? Stand at the threshold of probabilities and outside the bounds of the predictable. It's beyond possible to know whether we can or cannot. But we believe that we can, and that is what drives us to try. If we succeed, we will obtain power beyond compare, become a shield against any threat, in whatever form it may manifest itself. I have made my decision. Taught you sense the shard's reaction, observation, analysis, and almost intangible anxiety. Face Nomos. Act now, my child. We are ready for the most important battle of our life. Wish us luck. Nomos steps towards the shard, and the whole world explodes into a terrifying whirlwind. You can hear the colors and see the touches. The ice that burns your hands while fire leaves you freezing. In the midst of this madness, you can clearly sense a battle raging, a clash of two beings, one endlessly ancient, the other endlessly young. I believe in you, Nomos. You got this. Also, Aloha Calcular is just stuck there. The power of the Catan Shard is such that it redefines the very notion of power. It has a weakness, one you can see only now. The Shard and its rival standing face to face. The Shard is just that, a shard. It is incomplete, it is not whole, and it cannot be what the Catan was before. Opposed to the Shard is something entirely different. An undivided, sentient being with a clear purpose in mind, akin to a well-aimed arrow. The one who fletched and loosed this arrow was you. The battle goes on and on and on, outrunning the course of time. You do not need the gift of clairvoyance to know who will emerge victorious. Time was transmuted in shadows of the future. Catan Shard was transmuted into a new form, and their name was Nomos. Possessing the power of an ancient being and nurtured by the rogue trader, young Star God watched over the Chronos Expanse, a new domain, with curiosity. Gathering its bleeding worlds together again, the rogue trader dared to build something more noble and civilized in the Expanse. A haven for those drifting and unprotected in the strict hierarchy of the Imperium. It would be an unbound frontier, where freedom and compassion were not wholly extinct. The shackled monster under Von Valencia's control ensured the survival of the fledgling utopia. Star God destroyed all who threatened its peaceful civilians and instilled fear in those of little faith. The Expanse tasted the sweet fruit of freedom and tolerance with reverent fear. Imperium could not forgive such insolent deviation from the order prescribed by Holy Terra. Von Valencia's dynasty was accused of the seditious formation of their own empire. An invasion fleet gathered in the Callisto sector, and the lifespan of the young utopia was as short as its creators. Protecting the young kingdom of freedom, Nomos created dimensional barriers that cut the Chronos Expanse off from the Imperium more soundly than the Great Rift. The humanity of the Expanse was left in isolation, relying only on themselves. Yet it had to build something new and different from the Imperium or fall to the horrors lurking in the darkness. The ideals that Lashon Valencius was committed to were alien to the Imperium, but close to the hearts of many in the Expanse. Anyone who could not resolve a dispute or who was denied justice rushed to the palace of the rogue trader in search of mercy. Rumors and stories of his humanitarian rule formed the foundation of the Valencian school of philosophy. The sect united commoners and aristocrats in the belief that for the Imperium to flourish, it should stop seeing its subject as mere tools. This dangerous heresy was denounced in many systems. Persecutions only hardened and multiplied its followers. Having lost its leader and lacking a worthy successor, the Horde dynasty began to weaken. The grim legacy of the abominable SPC revealed itself, and the Proctorate fell into chaos. Grasping claimants tore the defense of Deminsky apart. Resisting the temptations that besieged him, Caligos Winterscope returned to his domain and began to piece together the shattered remains of his proctorate. Until his dying day, his actions and thoughts were dedicated to saving abandoned worlds and protecting survivors. Alas, he was not able to achieve much in the time he was allotted. He breathed his last breath on the same throne that he refused to leave for decades, adamantly refusing augmentics that would restore mobility and power to his legs. The cult of St. Drusus continued its indefatigable struggle to spread the faith across the Expanse and expose the vile transgressions of the authorities. The stronger and wealthier our planet was, the less its rulers wanted to see the black-clad preachers. Riots and assassinations pushed the cult to the place where it felt most confident, the frontier. After the death of Reverend Harmonius Doloroso, a man called Chaplain took over the leadership of the Drusian mission. He hid his name, not his crimes or his piratical past. Resolved and an experienced voidfarer, he steered the cult and even led his fellow believers on military expeditions against brigands, enforcing order and converting depraved captives to the faith. deals struck by the Cognizant's fleet and the Von Valence's dynasty replenished the exporters' dwindling supplies and allowed them to re-embark on a rapid and unrelenting expansion campaign. With powerful bases established in the Expanse, the Messiah's scouts bravely ventured forth towards unnamed stars, with the same drive that propelled their ancestors to explore the Expanse itself. The schism of discontinuing the cycle was over. The repentance of Pascal Henneman put a stop to this discussion about whether to update the algorithm and proceed as a worship. Secrets of Ektotos was declared heresy against the Deus Mechanicus and forgotten. Cognitius' fleet was reunited and ready to meet the decay and degradation of knowledge prophesied by Archmagus Armid. Magos Dominicus Opticon 22 was sent to the forward scouting squadron by the fleet conclave. The reason for this was the discovery of the support he secretly stored in his computing blocks for the discontinuing of the cycle. The ship disappeared without a trace in a research raid. Presence in the Expanse dealt a serious blow to the business interests of the Fellowship of the Void. Having no powerful allies, they retreated into the darkness of frontier systems. The hard life they faced there forged them into a new tribe, furious, wild, and willing to do anything for survival. They swore to return and retake what had once been theirs. The first command that Ryza issued after her miraculous rescue and footfall was a complete extermination of all worshippers of the Dark Gods among the Fellowship of the Void. The old pirate wanted to find another way for her people to survive. Former renegades hoped to live by the law, working as mercenaries and traders. It seemed they were finally on the path to a peaceful life. The Imperial Navy conducted a flash raid and destroyed all the ships. Those who survived the bloodbath were publicly hanged. Aww. Violence throughout the Expanse put many on their guard, and as a result, the Casbalica missions, the business has declined. Soon rumors surfaced about coal traders about a so-called commission that had made it through the Maw and into the Expanse. Its professed purpose was to audit assets and take measures to restructure operations. These words carried with them an ominous threat. Vladimir Tukara, as League of Footfall, survived 14 assassination attempts and thwarted no less than 2,000 schemers before a shot finally took his life. The esteemed Leech's funeral was held in great secrecy, though his closest entourage being permitted to view his corpse, which spawned some peculiar rumors. A multitude of agreements bound the Imperial Navy to the Von Valencia's dynasty. Captains were eager to patrol the Proctorate, knowing they would be richly rewarded. Competing ships were lost to pirate attacks and subjected to harsh inspections. Many officers quietly entered the dynasty's service, receiving a salary and title in exchange for their excellent skills, where the admirals valued their new friends and enjoyed more gold on their uniforms. Charterist Captain Asturias Thorfest founded the Thorfest and Companions Merchant Company, excelling in trade and acquiring a substantial escort fleet. For 3 decades, he traveled to the Mall to return to the Imperium in hopes of obtaining the fabled warrant of trade. It is not known how this venture ended. When the rogue trader's apostasy became apparent, the Imperial Navy fulfilled its duty and fought the Von Valencia's dynasty. The Battle of Dargonis ended in resounding defeat, and surviving ships fled to distant systems. Disheartened but not broken, the captains vowed to rebuild their force and planned raids into the apostate's territory. The crucial reason for the defeat was the extraordinarily high percentage of captains who betrayed their oaths and defected to the rogue trader's side. Overnight, he acquired a battle-ready fleet of his own. Dargonis grew and prospered until it became the capital of the Kronos Expanse. The planet was like a giant magnet whose pull held together the worlds of the Expanse, absorbing the treasures and vices of the sector. Dargonis became the bastion of order in the Expanse. From here, punitive expeditions were dispatched to tainted worlds, and entire spires were occupied by officials and bureaucrats of the Imperium. On many planets, the expression, "a man from Dargonis," soon came to mean a fearsome inspector with the power to impose punishment. Yevagama washed off the stain of its former defilement, but not the dark memory of it. Sacred halls were never silent, and production rates became the supreme law. The glory of the Imperium was forged in the blood and sweat of its toilers, and the millstones of the manufactorums ground the workers down by the thousand. Even in death, the souls of the servants dared not step away from the machines. The enthroned Null Caliph drew millions of pilgrims and granted the planet hallowed status. Its sacred calculation had continued for centuries, and the foremost sages of the Adeptus Mechanicus traveled to the world so they could attempt to divine its meaning. Janus was conquered, the Xenos spirits were exorcised, and the wilderness was subdued. Fields grew until they covered the whole entire planet, and billions of tons of provisions were harvested there. Janus has become the breadbasket of the Expanse, and to threaten it would be to condemn millions to starvation. Janus became a melting pot for cultures from hundreds of worlds, taking in refugees from across the entire Expanse in its darkest hour. It became a stronghold and a symbol of hope. After the crisis passed, the refugees started to return to their homelands and to reclaim the lost worlds, thus earning Janus the proud name, the home of the Reconquista. Despite grim expectations, the coexistence of humans and the Eldari did not lead to enmity. Janus had faced in many trials, and the struggle against them brought the two peoples together. They did not develop an affection for one another, but they learned to speak with no weapons in their hands. More than one dangerous xenophile schism was born on Janus. The minds of the Abyss 6 grew deeper and deeper, and soon the planet became the darkest, most frightening colony of the Expanse. Final stop for the exiled and the damned. The brutal, hardened inhabitants of the Death World feared neither humans nor xeno horrors, knew no mercy, and were known as the most fearsome fighters in the sector, but traded their lives for the right to leave the eternal darkness of the mines. Guarded, luxurious palaces were built under the climate domes, surrounded by clouds of poison. How so many powerful blackguards persecuted aristocrats and wealthy scoundrels that the Abyss 6 gained unimaginable political influence. Such grand and sinister deeds were done there that long before the grim Death World was spoken of as the new political center of the Expanse. No longer secluded and forlorn, Falstone turned into the spiritual center of the Expanse. Clad in gold and power, rulers went there to be anointed for greatness, criminals for penance, and the righteous for encouragement, and there was no end to them in sight. Converted into a comet shrine, Falstone's moon spread the word of St. Cognatius throughout the Expanse, protecting walls from attacks by the enemy's humanity. Servants asked for neither money nor power, only the relics left by their blessed patron. The wise handed them over with reverence, but the haughty learned how heavy the hammer of Falstone was. The fate of the pure-voiced prophet, the guardian of the hallowed crucible, was a sad one. After visiting 7 worlds and bestowing the blessing of transformation upon them, he perished at the hands of bloodthirsty Drukhari pirates, along with his retinue and the priceless relic. Aww. With the fall of their unholy patron, the Edge of Dave Grey and the cult of the Final Dawn perished as well. Every cell of the cult was hunted down and eliminated. Rumors that some worshippers of the ruinous powers had managed to get away, hiding in the writings of their warp-banished lord under the robes, were baseless. Left without a mission or a leader, the word-bearers retreated to the depths of the Immaterium. The last act of vengeance was a bloody assault on the Footfall. The populace of several asteroids was exterminated or enslaved, and the statue of the God Emperor was badly damaged. Recovering from Cordo's regime, Footfall reclaimed its status as a trading hub of the Expanse. Everyone learned a bitter lesson. Ledim Tokara created the Footfall Partisans Militia, a well-equipped mercenary army that answered only to him. Modicum of order returned to the station. Changes that the Von Valentius dynasty brought to the Footfall endured on the station long after. Warehouses opened by the order of the rogue trader saved many hungry and homeless from death. Unfortunately, this disrupted the station's delicate ecosystem. No longer freezing to death in empty compartments tormented by epidemics, those who lived in poverty and Footfall began to choke the station, leading to a sharp rise in crime. Organ traders, illegal augmetic specialists, and savage gangs of Ambers proliferated. The Rykad system turned into a purulent wound of corruption, poisoning the Expanse. Surreal energies of the yawning warp legion held its planet together even in the absence of the gravitational pull of the star, defying the very laws of existence. Immense depravity took root in Rykad Minoris and poured out into other systems with vile glee. People of Rykad and Minoris, saved by the rogue trader, eventually found a new home. A colony of New Rykad was founded at the edge of the Von Valentius Dominici. Memories of the adversity that they suffered and of the fallen home filled the hearts of both commoners and nobles with hatred for the ruinous powers. That loathing fueled the building of a kingdom of intolerance and strict order on New Rykad. Claiming prayers to the Emperor, they kept vigilant watch for new signs of corruption in their home, surrounding colonies, and regularly embarked on purging campaigns on nearby colonies that resembled military invasions. Rumors of the rotting remains of the Eldari craft world spread around the Expanse. Explorators, privateers, Cabalica agents, and anyone hungry for easy money all rushed to frontier systems to vie for a piece of the prize. Some were swallowed by the warps, while others perished in skirmishes with their rivals. The most skilled and fortunate returned empty-handed after decades of searching. A colossal ship as big as an imperial world simply vanished, as if it had never existed, and the legend of the forbidden treasure lived on and continued to bring daring souls to ruin. Eldari from the fallen craftful Krurok, who once traveled through the darkness of the Expanse in a desperate attempt to gather the remains of their kind, are becoming a rarer sight. Even the most skillful Cabalica agents and audacious bounty hunters who have knowledge of Xeno settlements on the edges of the Expanse could no longer find their trail. Squads of Eldari Rangers suddenly appeared on different worlds and disappeared abruptly without shedding a drop of blood. Their purpose remained an enigma. The news of Xenos appearing in the Expanse was followed by a report from the Admiral Janus about a strange flash in the night sky. When the light disappeared, authorities sent out patrols that located Xenos' camp among ancient ruins. The trail ended near a white monument, a webway gate, but this path led the Eldari, only their Farseers knew. No. Time spent in the same world as Malachi pushed the Farseer Moran toward reflection. When Webway Gate woke on Janus and squads of Eldari Rangers stepped onto their ancestors' world, he averted a bloodbath, granting Lilithan and his new and naive citizens his blessing. He disappeared through a shining portal, departing for a new home. Oh, nice. Spirit monolith, purified by the Harlequin troop on the Crone World, was hidden from the insatiable eyes of the Monkai by raging warp storms. Ships started going missing more frequently than systems close to the planet, and the most courageous captains gave the region a wide berth, and was named the Damned Reefs. Somewhere on the underside of reality lay Kimura, woven from manifold other dimensions and illuminated as always with the light of stolen suns, its streets ever filled with screams and agony. Any misfortune experienced by the Dark City became another scar on its appalling face, lost among thousands of other vile blemishes. As long as pain pulsed in its blood-soaked spires, the insatiable and unshakable Kimura continued its fight through the roadway, along with its unchanging ruler, the leader of the Cabal of the Black Heart, and the most dangerous of all Drukhari, as Zorobio Vec. The fall of the Cabal of the Reaving Tempest united Kimura for a brief and bloody moment. The elites of the Dark City set their squabbles aside and found a new game, tearing apart the domain of Archon Ymiris. The fate of the Reaving Tempest reminded the other Cabals that nothing left for them in the Dark City, save the city itself. Leaving the Necron systems behind, the Star God vengefully obliterated every tomb world of the ancient Xenos race. The old hatred of the Catan, betrayed by their deathless servants, whispered inside him. The voice of Vox Vaster Vigis Surya Tara of the Toliman dynasty was long resounded in the Expanse, bringing hope and trumpeting the arrival of the merciful rogue trader. Known for her wisdom and acute understanding of ship systems, over her long life she taught many generations of future Vox Masters from the Toliman dynasty. Her body was built into the bridge itself, and in times of need, her voice flowed through the Vox, dispelling delusions and despair. After years of dedicated service, Master Helmsman Ravor was granted, despite his objections, the privilege of rest. The wise servants of the Omnissiah implanted an augment to his brain that restored his ability to sleep. Soon afterwards, something unprecedented happened aboard the ship. Master Helmsman overslept and missed the start of his watch. But his temper did become much more agreeable from then on. Many years later, Pythactorm Janus Danrock sought permission to retire, said that age had softened his heart, and that a more worthy, young, and assertive successor should take over his position. There was no shortage of candidates. Under all that fat, Danrock had a sentimental heart. He spared nothing for the orphans of those who had died serving the rogue trader. His children were given an excellent education and were eager to serve the Von Valencia's dynasty. Jocasta Sauerbeck served as master of his arm for years, but eventually her zeal faded. It appeared that having tried every form of violence in existence, she no longer derived out of any of them the joy it had once held. Jocasta humbly submitted her resignation and went back to her home in the capital world. She took up the position of the warden of one of the capital world's hives and reconciled with her cousin Marcharius, albeit only after a while. The reconciliation was at any rate easy to overlook during gatherings of the capital world nobility. Jocasta and Macarius would waste no opportunity to have a ferocious row. After many years, Zachary Wes mustered the courage to take personal apprentices again. He searched throughout the expanse for aristocrats whose masters were harsh and cruel to them, and recruited them into his choir. He gathered a cast of talented men and women by his side, and was their guardian and mentor. Wes died defending his wards from cursed words spewed by the Immaterium, sealing the sound of those words in his mind. He referred a horrible death to a repetition of his shameful past mistakes. Urban Drivestem cared more about preserving the influence of his line than the well-being of the Proctorate. His blind ambition lofted in his governor's seat the respect of his family. In a few generations, one of the largest houses of Oregonis turned to an obscure family of petty aristocrats. Doriana Gabrek missed the moment when her family, which had previously functioned like a well-oiled machine, started to fall apart, racked by infighting. Among her distant relatives, many blamed Toriana for the Kieva Gamma disaster. Soon the Gabrek family split into warring factions and spent centuries locked in a violent struggle, only on occasion punctuated by futile attempts to reunite the house. Macarius Sauerbeck was loyal to the rogue trader to the last, despite all the rumors to the contrary. Finding little affection among his subjects or family, he stayed true to himself, remaining a forthright, severe, and pious person. Macarius strived to ensure that every soul in his charge felt justifiable dread before both him and the God Emperor. There was the House Rosarian served the dynasty faithfully and loyally, amassing more and more power. A century later, they finally gained the respect enjoyed by other noble houses. The power and luxury can duel any blade. Now pampered and idle aristocrats were scarcely recognizable as the descendants of the formidable Celestial Warsarian. Aw. Clementia Warsarian, granddaughter of Abelard and Chancellor of Draconis, executed her duties irreparably and even found time to school the younger generations of her family. She was an equally skilled mentor, chancellor, and political operative. After a century of immaculate service, she surprised everyone by leaving her position and becoming the first mate on a trade ship. She would later admit, like a true Warsarian, she'd always had a passion for ships and voidfaring. The Harlequin known as Nocturne of Oblivion visited the Expanse once again. Sneaking on Draconis, he came to the Rogue Trader's palace and left him with special gifts. A case of Eldar crafting, unmistakably ancient and precious, adorned with the rune of an eye inside a triangle. Only the Lord Captain knew what it contained. The Harlequin candidly warned him that he was drawing the Von Valencia's dynasty into a deadly dance, a shaking doom, that all will freeze within the threads of Terra's loom. And he promptly departed, and not without reason. A few hours later, assassins from the Dark City appeared, following his trail, and were mercilessly killed. Armor bore the silent cabal of the Black Heart. Oof. After months of searching, Draconis wardens found the remains of Achilles Scalender on the lowest levels of the hive. Shikari artifacts and records discovered beside him indicated that the ancient Inquisition had been compromised and was working for the Xenos. Yeah, I already knew that. The old South Malice did not risk returning to Clamora, where the cult of the Fatal Thirst was exacting vengeance of everyone who had helped the Rogue Trader. He took to piracy, forming a crew for the remnants of the Reaving Tempest, rekindling his old thirst for battle. He seemed to shed a good 100 years of his age like a snake's skin. The savage deeds that Cordeus Sketov witnessed on Footfall traumatized him forever. His architectural genius was shattered, only the recollections of true connoisseurs held his work, written in a shaky hand. Footfall, the ultimate void station, and mortuary. Delia Bellardo, the granddaughter of the pirate Jerrycan Dins Bellardo, grew up to be a quick-witted and energetic captain, since her guardian, who went simply by the name Chaplain, knew only faith, slaughter, and voidfaring. He advised her to invest her inheritance in a void ship. Her trade clipper, the Snake, traveled to all the settled worlds of the Expanse, and to many uncharted ones as well. All the time that Delia Bellardo was captain, her ship never once fired on a civilian vessel. Nice. The secret of the Gene Stealer cult infestation in the Kronos Expanse was laid bare. A wave of purges rolled across many worlds, with enraged rabble and planetary guards massacring thousands of those who appearance diverged from true human form. Most of them were, of course, ordinary abject genetic misfits and worthless rejects, but their lives for a small price for the sector's purity. Having completed his last journey with his Lord Captain, Abelard Warsarian, with the gracious permission of the Rogue Trader, left his post as Seneschal and took over the helm of his large family. House Warsarian rose above its rivals and was never again the target of persecution, even after their esteemed patriarch died decades later in his bed, surrounded by his grieving loved ones. Aww. Abelard's shining memory was blighted only by rumors of a creeping madness in the twilight of his life, and he said that he had seen the esteemed Seneschal talking to someone unseen, and the voice filled with unusual tenderness and sorrow. Sister Argenta made no secret of the great respect and gratitude she felt towards the Lord Captain, yet duty compelled her to lead the Von Valencia's retinue. With the blessing of the ecclesiarchy, she founded a minor order of the Adeptus Sororitas, the Order of the One Star. United around the keeper of the sacred relic, its sisters protected the faithful from the dangers still lurking in the Expanse. The wider order and its courageous founder quickly became heroes of legend, instilling hope and inspiration in the hearts of Terra's faithful children. Yet the conflict between the Imperium and the head of Von Valencia's dynasty could not but affect the young order. Some sisters demanded that Argenta denounce her former commander. Unable to choose between the order she had created and the person without whom she could not have completed her journey, she stepped down from her position and went into exile. Despite everything, love for her among the people of the Expanse only grew. Argenta would be the heroine of songs and tales for centuries to come, a radiant angel who would appear in the darkest hour to protect innocents from the forces of darkness. Kind of sad she was exiled, but I feel like that's the ending she would want rather than anything else. Jai Hidari basked in the Rogue Trader's light for many years, trying to make the most of such illustrious patronage. Alas, her appetites were insatiable. 2 decades later, she brazenly attempted a coup. It was a failure, and she found herself in the executioner's block. Toward the end, she bestowed one of her famous smiles on the thronging rabble in farewell. Aww. Azir Kibella of the Bloodspun Web guided her cult along its old paths and remained faithful to tradition. As before, Bloodspun Web cultists led ascetic lives and brought death to those who had been marked by the Undying. However, nothing is unchanging. A momentous event profoundly impacted Bloodspun Web, the discovery and miraculous return of a lost relic, a card from the Emperor's turret. The Azir performed a reading, and the Emperor showed her a new goal, to fit the blessed deck back together. Only in its entirety could it reveal the great and dark future that awaited the Kronos Expanse. Bloodspun Web read the portents, and the holy search commenced. Atius Erebus was a loyal and dutiful servant of the rogue trader. He went on to become an outstanding bridge officer and a true void wolf. He visited many systems and worlds in the Kronos Expanse, and never set foot on his native Dargonis or saw his family again. Henrik von Calix, the former interrogator of the Ordo of Xenos, took the mantle of the Lord Inquisitor after his mentor's death. Receiving both the Inquisitor's rosette and the duty of defending the sector from the enemy's commanding, von Calix became the new Warden of the Kronos Expanse. Von Calix declared a relentless war against the enemy's humanity, be they Xenos, servants of chaos, or heretics in the Imperium's own ranks. The Inquisitor fearlessly eliminated numerous nests of corruption in the Expanse. A few decades later, he was assassinated by a criminal cartel. Some say Cabela Commission, sick of the unrelenting servant in the law, was involved in the Inquisitor's killing. Aww. In her journeys with the rogue trader, Cassia Orselio experienced all the hardships and delight of the galaxy. An invaluable experience and new knowledge helped her to finally conquer her fears and accept herself and her powers. Lady Navigator became Novator of her house, tasked with addressing the consequences of Discipline's rule and the chaos that followed her disappearance. For the duration of her reign, she patiently worked on uniting the feuding branches of the house, forging alliances and expanding the influence of House Orselio. Starway Alice, which contained the memories of Tisiphone and the Seth clan, lost its power. House Orselio's navigators once again had to rely on skill alone in the depths of the material. Many lost their lives, but those who survived the crisis became hardened veterans and pillars of the house. Most of those fortunate souls were young and brave. Too few among them were old and wise. Novator Cassia and Vizier Cabela were brought closer by their common burden of assuming a high position and power at a young age. Though their friendship was short-lived, as it could not overcome the gravity of their duties and the differences between the worlds to which they belonged, they exchanged gifts out of respect for each other and to honor the memories of the journeys they had shared. Cassia used Cabela's blood to paint an incredible piece which became a relic of the Bloodspun Web. Cabela in turn assigned one of her best spinners to act as Cassia's bodyguard. Many days later, the spinner was rumored to have ended Cassia's life on the Novator's own oars when her body could no longer resist the strain of mutation. Aww. Though, not the worst fate that a navigator can suffer, I guess. Dear Tless lived several more years of the Rogue Trader's Grand Campaign Epitaph. Despite her short life, she left behind many legends and tales of her adventures in Lord Captain's service, and of the terrible warp phenomena that she manifested. At a time when Indira Tless was prepared to accept her fate, she found guidance where she least expected it, in the wisdom of the Bloodspun Web. The words of Vizier Kibilla, who had come to know death better than any mortal soul, helped Adira look to her future, not without regret, but without fear. For many years afterwards, there was an empty table in the common area of the officer's deck that had an intricate labyrinth carved into the tabletop. Then the crew sat at the table out of respect for the quiet and candid conversations once shared at it by a psyker and a servant of the Undying Emperor. Cabela's out here making friends with everyone. How nice. Shortly before her death, Adira vanished from her post, and Jai disappeared with her. When Jai returned many cycles later, she declared that Adira's last days had been full of joy and adventure, and that her greatest pleasure had been watching the Void Whales play. Adira did not remain a servant of Von Lintz's dynasty for long. Travel's Lord Captain had changed her. She was as lively and talkative as ever, but she had also now developed a tendency towards rumination. Adira was now sometimes seen in a place that she had barely visited before, the ship's chapel. Deep in thought or prayer, curiously the warp phenomena that haunted her became less and less frequent. Yet Adira did not seem reassured by this, and ultimately decided to go into exile, a pilgrimage she called it, to protect people from herself. Her trail disappeared somewhere in the expanse, yet the memory of her lives on. Sisters of the Order, the One Star, founded by Argenta, another companion Lord Captain, often mentioned Adira in their sermons as an example of a transgressor who had found the light. Coming before the conclave of the Cognitius fleet, Pascal and Emaine repented of the schism. Casting off his former heresy-stained identifier, he accepted a designation unregistered by the catalog and surrendered his Magos Regalia. His fate remains unknown. The archives contain reports of the activities of a stern castigator of the Code. Pulse identifies the tech priest Brash Whisper, who was already deceased by that time. The face of this castigator was hidden behind a mask. His mission was interrogation and elimination. The agent of the Conclave witnessed every sign of tech heresy and exterminated all who endangered the theorems of purity granted by the Forerunners. The unit bearing the name Abel Hahnemann was granted a pardon for his participation in the schism. Abel spent the rest of his days in monastic solitude on the station Altar Templum Calixus X17. Not bothered by unwanted voices, he gave himself fully to the passion of statistical augury and the creation of binaric harmonies. His liturgies were performed in the machine cathedrals and regarded as beautiful hymns to the Messiah, even if somewhat unorthodox due to a certain liveliness not characteristic of Mechanicus hymns to the Dex Mechanicus. For many years, Yearlet traveled at the rogue trader's side, and him decipher the secrets of lost Xenos races and lending him the wisdom of her kind. Half a century later, she sensed that it was time to say goodbye. The path of the outcast had come to an end. After bidding farewell to her Elentalk, Yearlet made her way to her surviving kin. Yearlet followed a new path, the path of the warrior. She only hoped she would never be forced to raise her weapon against the mortals who had become her true brothers and sisters in arms. After joining the Stormbiters, Ulfar Thunderlong soon became the pack leader, taking the place of Thorvald, who met an honorable end. The new leader sent a message to Fenris, stating his intention to remain in the Expanse. There were too many enemies lurking in these hunting grounds that deserved the Allfather's wrath. Legends paved the formidable pack's path in gold. Years later, Ulfar found a battle in which he could meet his honorable death. The warp was suddenly torn asunder, and ships from Fenris, bearing the mark of the Wolf Head, came to his aid. Saved from the battlefield by his loyal companion Halbrand, Ulfar accepted the honors of the Dreadnought and was entombed in sacred armor. During the blessed ritual, he cursed and demanded to be left to his death, but his brothers merely answered with mirthful laughter. When he recovered his senses, Ulfar led his forces to the Heathen Stars. The Allfather had given him a new mission and a near-death vision. No one in the Expanse has heard the word of the Space Wolf since their departure, yet many believe that one day they will return victorious. Such was the echo of the deeds of the rogue trader of House von Valencius, deeds that transformed the Kronos Expanse and prepared it for events even darker and more violent. While those are the events of a different story, this one has come to an end. And so ends Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. Based off the way a lot of that stuff went, definitely could have done better for the Expanse. But I feel like most people who died get the death that they wanted. And did what they wanted with the rest of their life. So, that's good. Adira made friends too. That's also nice. She needed them. My throat is really dry from all that speaking. That was a lot of reading. That game was a lot of fun. Kind of sad that the fight with the Edge of Daybreak and then the Catan Shard. Kind of sad they weren't more, but at the same time too, I built a very powerful team. So I had so much stacked in the way of armor penetration, debuffs, buffing, and whatnot. I basically just, after like round 2 or 3, the retinue would become unkillable and killable, and everything would become killable to them. It's a lot of artists. Granted, there was a lot of art. Wait, is this voice actors? I don't remember Nomos ever actually having spoken lines. Letting the credits play out. I always do that with games I finish. What happened to the choir? Oh, never mind. It's choir, soloists, sopranos, altos. Never mind. I misunderstood where I was going. That probably could have been structured a little bit better. How badly does it speed it up? That's a lot of speed up. That's a lot of names. Alex, 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 Alex. That's a lot of Alexes. That's a lot more Alexanders. Holy crap. An AC-20 enthusiast. There's a lot of Andrews. You can definitely tell what are common names and what are not in this list. Alright, I'm gonna speed this up. There's a few spots I want to check, so I'll slow down when I reach those points, but this is a literal forever. A lot of lords. It was a good decision to speed this up, because holy crap, this is taking forever. This is a long list. Alright. And so ends the game. Oh, and conveniently at the time that I typically end stream. Worked out well. That's gonna be it for today. And for Rogue Trader. Now there are a bunch of other stuff that can be done, specifically like unfair difficulty, grim darkness, whatnot. So if people are interested in seeing more of this, I can attempt to do more. Don't know exactly how it will go, but I mean, if people are interested, just let me know. If there's anything like challenge runs or different paths or whatnot, I don't really know. I don't know, but if anyone has any ideas, just let me know. Or maybe when more DLC comes out. But with that said, that's gonna be it for Rogue Trader, at least for now. I don't know what I will do on Thursdays. I will still be streaming on Thursdays, but I don't know what I'll be doing exactly. I'll figure that out. If you have any ideas, just let me know. But that will be it for today. My next stream will be Sunday with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And with that said, that'll be it for today. So I already said it multiple times. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. It helps me out with knowing what more to do and whatnot. And yeah. Have a good time whatever time zone you're in. And yeah, bye for now.